Indeed, greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you so much for joining me again today on another video, another live stream, another moment, another experience. I appreciate you sharing the space with me. Kiki seems to be shenanigans level 10,000 right off the bat. Kiki. Kiki. Hoje mush mush. Hoje mush mush mush. Hoje mush mush. Eu vou dar. Seems I won't focus today. But I'll try to at least say something worth saying before we get into it. Hey, Aunt B, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you sharing the space with us. And Cable, thank you, my beloved friend, for the love that you share with me. You know, I was listening to the Upanishads today, and while I was listening to them, I was just thinking, man, Cable probably knows all of these things, and he's probably like somewhere in the world being like, yup, it's about time, Melt. It's about time you show up and read the Upanishads. So I've been thinking about you, my friend. I hope you're doing well, man. Katie, my beloved friend. Here we are. Here we are. I'll leave it. Kiki. There's nothing in there. I'll leave it to you to tell us what you want to tell us if you want to say anything. Otherwise, we're here with you, my friend. Tate, my beloved friend, thank you for joining us as well. Much love to you today, man. How have you been, Tate? How have you been? I'm still wondering how you're adjusting since you've returned from your little vacation. I'm gonna have a vacation at some point. Maybe in November. At least that's the way we're planning it out now. We're going to have my friends come over to stay on the farm for a bit. Going to have a time. And then I'm going to go to Pretoria to live with Christian for a while. And I really look forward to that as like a mini vacation. It's step one in the mobile melt streams, if you will. That is well with us all. Good day to you. I hope so. Hey, SD, no, you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing, SDZ? Goodness to you, my friend. Nothing really. I'm sick to my stomach from anxiety. Separation is hard. And I think I might go stay with a friend in a few days. Why not? Why not, Katie? Maybe that could serve you well. Maybe that's exactly what you need. How long have you been together? And how long have you been having these feelings that you're supposed to no longer continue this relationship? Do you feel this that you're experiencing right now has been, a long time coming, to say it in one of the ways to say it, if you will? Or do you feel like this is something that abruptly happened? Depending on how you answer these questions, I do believe you know where I'm trying to go with this. The more you think about all of the things that have happened before, all of the things that have led you to being where it is you are now, there is such a plethora of baggage almost attached to what is happening right now. And because the thing that is happening right now is actually happening, all of this psychic energy, and I'm saying psychic energy because what do you define the catalog of mental processing, I guess you could call it, right? You think about these things, you feel these things create some turmoil inside of yourself. You get over this turmoil, you move on, something happens again, and this turmoil almost like builds and builds and builds, and it becomes more and more significant. And it is not necessarily directly addressed. And then as soon as the snowball breaks, whatever, you realize, or you feel all of these accumulated potential drawbacks, if you will, or potential negatives, or potential feelings of separation that has been plaguing you throughout the entire relationship, up to the point that you are right now. And now that there is this finality happening, this recognition almost as well with inside of yourself, that this thing you've been feeling, this thing you've been thinking is actually coming to fruition, when it's not necessarily something you want to be right about, can be greatly disturbing. Separation, it can really convince you of that separateness, Katie. I don't know if my words help at all, but we're here with you, my friend. I'm sorry that you're going through this. Thank you for joining us in this space. That sounds awesome, Mel. Thank you. Can't be. I hope it will be. Mobility, nice. Yeah, Cable. I need to move a bit, dude. I need to move a little bit. I am busy with some things again that makes it hard for me to move, because I'm starting another grow up. You know, since it's summer, marijuana plants aren't gonna grow themselves. So I'm gonna have to, get back into that whole loop, if you will, for another while. But I've also said this to, some of my friends and to my father. I think, if anything, this is going to be the last time I am growing on this farm. We don't know where the future is going to take us and how time is going to turn out, but we'll see. It's been good, been busy, but the trip was amazing. We had a great time. Time spent with amazing friends is rejuvenating. It really is, Tate. It really, really is. I'm looking forward to being able to spend some time with my friends as well and be able to rejuvenate in that way. It's been a while. It's been a real long time, actually. I'm looking forward to being able to get out a bit. I'm not looking forward to leaving my plans unattended and other stuff unattended, but I am here for it, nonetheless. Love without attachment. Yeah. Sounds like fun. I hope it will be. That might be a nice change. I think so as well. Looking forward to your travel vlogs. Thank you, Tate. I hope to actually have my friends join the streams, and I think I would be able to get them to. Like, the last time they were here was during my birthday in May, and they wanted to be on stream, but Friday they came after my stream. Saturday we had, an experience, and my grandpa passed away. So they weren't necessarily in it, to be on camera or be in stream. And then the Sunday, they left before my afternoon stream. So, things just didn't align perfectly. This time, however, I don't think they'll be able to get out of it, if you will, 30 days in a row. Because I'm gonna be there for about a month. I think maybe a month. Maybe I'll go to some other friends as well during that month, but it should be a month. 3 years, and we've been struggling about a year. I hear you, Katie. I'm guessing you're still replying to the other things I've said, but I'm still here with you, my friend. I'm good, on my way back from work to work out. Interestingly enough, I've been thinking about you a lot today as well, STZ, because, I was thinking about Israel, to be more specific. My dad is unfortunately an anti-vaxxer, and not only an anti-vaxxer, but also an extreme conspiracy theorist around the vaccine as well. And he basically sends me this chart of Israel's cases, the fact that 60% of the population has been vaccinated, and they still have now another surge in their COVID cases. And my dad is using this as look, it doesn't help to get vaccinated or whatever. But Israel has a 0.7% case fatality rate, and South Africa has a 3% case fatality rate. So I'm not sure if it's the COVID vaccine lowering the fatality rate, or if it's because Israeli people are healthier. But I've been thinking about you, looking at these data, thinking about these things, because my dad sends me this data, this information, and then I went online and I pulled the data about the amount of cases we have in South Africa, the amount of deaths we've occurred. Same with Israel, deaths that occurred, the fact that they are losing significantly less people to this virus. It's yikes. It's a yikes. This pandemic is separating people on so many levels, It's separating people on the level of not being able to touch one another out of fear of contracting the virus. It's separating us by keeping our face, half of our faces at least, away from each other, so we can't necessarily read cues, read lips, be completely present with the whole facial expression side of communication. It's separating us on these levels of vax versus anti-vax. It's separating us with these levels of conspiracy or pandemic versus we're going through a pandemic and we're going to go through more pandemics because it's kind of one of the results of the world warming up and microbes coming out of the ice. That's one of the biggest threats, interestingly enough as well, is superbugs emerging from the ice capsules that have been frozen for how many years. There is so much contention, so much turmoil, so much stress happening in the world right now. And to attack one another on things that we don't necessarily know much about, especially if you don't know anything about these things, and then to be so adamant on the information that you want to share, that is what's concerning. It's the people that are trying to misinform are the ones that are the loudest, are the ones that are trying to reach the most people. And it's really strange. We're going through a lot right now, friends. I just can't get myself out of bed. I feel so crappy and low. Stay in bed, Katie. Stay in bed today, my friend. Like, you're allowed to feel crappy and low as well. Like, these feelings aren't, or happy feelings aren't the only exclusive feelings to this reality, to this world, to this life. Feeling low can be something that can educate your highs again, right, Katie? You will have your highs again, my friend. This is a part of it, and a temporary part of that at least. I am a rude person. Shock surfer? I don't think so. You look like a nice person, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I've had similar ideas, theories. There's a lot about our universe and consciousness itself. Obviously, it has evolved over time. But how has it changed? Is there any Is there any chance that the universe is trying to perfect consciousness? Fresh yesterday. It seems we have so much wind. My entire phone is shaking today. But I did have my hair tied up because I wasn't gonna deal. Man, that's a really good question, and my answer to it is that consciousness is perfect. I believe maybe, if anything, our universe, maybe this physical universe, is trying to maybe experiment with forms of expression of that consciousness. Depending on the form, depending on the expression, that consciousness comes out in different ways. So, in a way, you can think of this pursuit for perfection. And this is something that I was listening to Terence McKenna talk about. I was listening to Terence McKenna talk today about how technology is magic and magic is technology. And he was going into explaining how, and it really resonated with me while he was saying it as well, how in a psychedelic state of mind, or in a just creative state of mind, I have more works of art. If I could take a single snapshot of what's going on inside of my head, I have more works of art inside of my brain than there are collectively in every single museum on this planet, right? It's just hard for me to, in this physical plane, completely illustrate or show to you what is going on inside of my mind. And in that way, the universe is maybe trying to perfect the ability for the being, as we are human beings, to be able to express the divinity that is the consciousness. And it does it in many different ways. Again, coming back to that whole technology is magic, magic is technology. Terence goes into saying this thing about how spirituality and technology are intermingled as well. And he talks about it in a way where he suggests that these technological happenings, let's say the internet, let's say the transistor that led to the computer, these technologies, these understandings about our physical universe and how to manipulate electricity is something that's almost fundamental to conscious development. especially consciousness that is fascinated with, magic or spirituality. Because as soon as we demonstrated electricity and the power that electricity can kind of, what's the word I want to look for? Demonstrate, I guess, without being visible, right? We cannot, unless you look at a lightning strike or at an arc, you cannot witness the electricity actually running through the wire. It just kind of does, invisibly so, and yet physical things can happen as a result of that invisible force. So it really kind of consolidated the understanding of humanity, of spirituality as well. That there are more to this reality than just the things that our eyes can perceive, if you will. And now, he didn't say this, but this is what I'm thinking about. If you look at the progress we've been making in computers, if you look at the technology that we're trying to perfect right now we have a few races going on. We have the race for AI happening, we have the race for brain-computer interfaces happening, and we have the race for quantum computers happening. And if you put those three things together, you basically get a new level of existence. A level of existence in which, through the help of a quantum computer, a brain-computer interface, and an AI system that can interpret the data I'm trying to give it intelligently, I can now, if I have all of those three things to some sort of level of perfection, create those thousands of millions of artworks that I have, mushing around in my brain all of the time. And that, you could argue, is a more perfect form of consciousness, because instead of being almost blunted or stunted by my physical form and not being able to communicate these things or express these things properly, now suddenly, as a conscious being, I can. And that's next level. that's really next level. It's going to change a lot of things, and in my opinion, it is something that the universe wants. It's almost like the universe is pushing us towards it. And now we have almost like caught the fever of that, this is speeding up towards a singularity. Is your hair pulled back? It's great to see your whole face. It is pulled back, my friend. Thank you. That's nice of you to say. Technically, I have a bunch of this badass, and I mean badass as in it looks as bad as ass, beard hair on my face right now. I'm a rude person and your beard looks like pubic hair. Yeah, I agree, Fred. It doesn't look very good, but it's not supposed to look good, dude. It's supposed to grow. I have a question. To you, is rap crappy? Not all of it. Rap technically has rhythm and poetry, so at least that's what I think about it. My birthday is in May, so When in May, actually? Thank you for the warning. Enjoy the sweet. My dad would fit right in there. Your dad would fit right in here. Here? You're talking about now? I doubt it. My dad would probably be telling me that I'm, crazy for saying these things or thinking these things or trying to understand these things, because that will never happen. Brain-computer faces will never actually happen. Artificial intelligence will never be able to think like a human. Computers will never be fast enough. Are you sure? I'm not so sure. Oh, that's it. Are you another guru? Definitely not, my friend. Try to rest and heal, but remember the negative things our mind tells us are lies. Yes, Aunt B, speaking truth. Hello, Mr. Meltmore. Hey, Ryan Ghostling. Thank you for joining us again, my friend. How have you been? It's been a while. I've lost a lot of friends over COVID and politics here. I don't care. I care. I don't want to lose friends to stuff like that. I feel it's something that is so, again, beneath us. Like we shouldn't be fighting about food. We shouldn't be fighting about money. We shouldn't be fighting about property. We should be fighting for love. That's the only thing that's going to serve us. It's the only thing that's going to ensure our survival as a species. To survival. Very, very appropriate. I have to drink water to survive as well. I was told to check out your streams by some Redditors. Well, welcome. Ryan Gosling. I hope you enjoy it, my friend. We talk about some whack stuff sometimes. No, man, my mind says I'm depressed, and that's true. So your mind might be saying that, but have you tried doing things that would be counterintuitive to that fact? Are you taking care of your body and trying to eat healthy? Are you trying to exercise a little bit? Are you trying to get yourself out of your comfort zone? Are you trying to do things you haven't done before? Are you pursuing a hobby? Are you pursuing something that you feel could bring you some joy? You know, like there's so many things that help for this depressive symptom. We should just try some more of them. You know, and it's difficult. It's difficult, especially when you're already in a state of depression, because you feel this almost like anchor, you know, attached to your ankles. You don't have that get up and go. But if anything, you put in earphones while you're sitting down, listen to something that could hype you up, and then use that hype to get up and then go somewhere. Just go somewhere, friend. Welcome indeed, Ryan Gosling. That part might be true, but the good thing is that doesn't have to continue. Aunt P, man, thank you so much. Yeah, you have a beard now. No, I have facial hair. I definitely do not have a beard. Unfortunately, same. I didn't push anyone away. They kind of just showed who they really were and drifted away. Fortunately, well, that happened to me as well. I was gonna say fortunately that didn't happen to me, but then I was like, wait a second. A friend did drift away like that, but it wasn't COVID or vaccine related or politics related or anything. It was just suddenly no more, unfortunately. Good morning to you, Toasty. Thank you for joining us, my beloved friend. I have to make it a conscious decision daily. I agree completely. I do the same thing on B. And sometimes I fail at making that decision or making that distinction with inside of myself, and I'll find myself in a state of despair. And then I'll be like, wait a second. Wait, whoa. Why exactly am I sad? For that, this reason. And then I'm like, let's do the zooming out. Oh, look at little pebble earth. I'm somewhere on said pebble earth. Always my problem. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. It helps a little bit, at least in my personal experience. Just making myself so insignificantly small, and then my problem with it, and then noticing the fact that I have the ability to have that part of my consciousness that far projected away from both my body and my little problem that I have imagined for myself. Like, I want to believe it's not intentional. I really do. You know, I don't care. I saw you popped into Haywire Hill yesterday, and I've seen Aunt B on here too. It's great to see friends looking after one another. It really is, right? And we'll look after you as well. I'm an 8th, Mr. 8th. We'll look after you as well, my friend. Do you ever get depressed, E? Katie? For 4 years of my life, I was in an extreme state of depression, you know, to the point where it led me to attempting to take my own life. So yeah, I was very depressed at one point in my life as well, Katie. And a lot of things had to change for me to stop being that way. And it's still, it's weird as well, because I'm very aware that circuitry, like imagine if your different states of consciousness or your different states of being has like these very distinct patterns, almost like, do you friends who understand programming or coding, you can think of it as an entire list of instructions, right? When this, then that, this way of thinking, this way of feeling about things, this way of interpreting what others say to you, all of this like baggaged data in this one thing that is the depressive state of being. And that depressive state of being, the program, the pattern, is still very much inside of me. And I'll find myself sometimes, hitting enter on that program and being like, oh, woe is me. This and that is so horrible, and the world is, on fire, and people are still spending X amount of $1 billion on fossil fuels, and people are in hatred of one another, and I can get myself into this whole list of reasons why I should be pressing this depressive state of being button. And then, at one point, I realized that I've been trying to perfect the state of being that is not that. A state of being that is present, aware, in acceptance of circumstances, and kind of neutral as well. Not to be reductive or to try and take away anything from being ecstatic or joyful, but I've taken on, at least for most of my experience, a very neutral way of experiencing it. I'm not overly happy, I'm not overly sad, I'm just neutral and in a state of awareness and presence. And then if I'm going to be in a state where I'm influencing / interacting with other beings, then you can kind of, from that neutrality as a standpoint, or as a lack of standpoint, push away into positivity, if that makes any sense. And that's what we try to do here, Katie. We're literally just practicing, trying to get good at feeling good. And it's a process. It's a daily process, and that's why we're doing it daily. If we are the bees, the world is the hive, and the universe is what we need to explore to keep the hive alive. I like that so much, and I've had the title, If We Are the Bees, the World is the Hive, before, but I was thinking very specifically about Alan Watts's Niemand Rideau. Rideau! I can think straight again. Okay. So, I was thinking very specifically about Alan Watts's lecture about a peopling universe. If an apple tree apples, and an orange tree oranges, then our universe peoples. And in that way, we are these bees to the hive. Because even though some of the bees in this universe might walk on 4 legs, some of these bees in the universe might have 8 arms, we're all these bees to this universe, We form these integral communities, these interconnected relationships, keeping things a little bit more alive than not alive. And it's beautiful. I gotta get there for another one. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, that is perfect. Thank you so much as well. Windy Wind Lane. Hey, Katie. May 13th. My birthday is on May 14th. What a trip, Katie. Your birthday is 1 day before mine. No, here in the US is an anti-vaxxer. Yeah. Hey, everyone. Hey, Gloomy. Thank you for being here, my friend. And I don't have a problem with either side of it either. Right? It's not something that I want to form contention over. It bothers me that it has to be a thing. That's the thing. That's the real thing. How are you doing? Do answer, please. I'm on medication for depression since last August. I don't normally rely on that stuff, but it has really helped me. Just what you said there, the fact that it helps you, kind of takes the steam out of my, or the wind out of my sails, that's the right term, the steam out of my pistons, the combustion out of my cylinders. This is the wind out of my sails to try and say anything bad about antidepressants, you know. If anything, I'm like, it's just the fact that it becomes something you become very dependent on, and it's become something that it's horrible to try and get off of. Like, you have very severe symptoms if you try to discontinue that medication. But if it's helping you, Katie, then there's nothing I can say other than I'm happy that it's helping. Melt, good morning, afternoon, Klepto. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Wow, I love you. Your energy is absolutely amazing. Also, I love the Pashmina. Thank you, Funk You. That's very nice of you to say. Oh, man, I saw you on someone else's stream as well. Whose was it? That's funking nice of you to say. I remember him saying. I can't exactly remember, but it's nice to see you here as well. Thank you for joining us, Funk You. I'm glad it's working for you. Is there a duck behind you? There might be geese, but not right now. Might be some chickens as well. Maybe a casual kiki, maybe a cow. What if the problem is being one... Okay, whoa. What if the problem is being on the little pebble Earth? You see, I don't think... Oh, okay. The more I think about it, the more it makes sense. But I can rationalize anything. So I kind of understand where you're coming from, Lane. But if anything, then you can think of the problem or consciousness being on Earth as a problem, as in consciousness was on Earth. Maybe Earth itself is conscious. And then in its consciousness, it made a conscious decision to maybe facilitate life, you know. And then we had single-celled organisms, which we can, in a way, argue for consciousness inside of them as well, because they have some sort of awareness of their environment, and they try to consume to stay alive. So they have some sort of sense of self-preservation and some sort of sense of environment, and we can kind of think of that as some level of consciousness. And then consciousness kept pushing, kept pushing. Oh, I'm gonna get more complex and more complex and more complex. And now we're these very complex monkeys, very intelligent. The other part of me is like, you're fucking stupid. Like, yeah, I know. But we can space. Some of our monkeys, if we come together, we go space. So maybe, Lane, maybe you're onto something, dude. What if the problem was being on Earth, and consciousness is like, nah, I need to get to that place. Points to the moon. Why? I don't know. I need to put a stick with a piece of material on it in the soil at that place. But why? Why do you want to do that? So I can tell myself I can. And we're gonna keep going. Like, people talk about aliens and our eventual encounter with them, and we're kind of ready to meet the Greys. I think a lot of people anticipate meeting the Greys, the big-eyed aliens, very bulbous heads, small chins, lanky bodies. Like, we're prepared kind of to meet those aliens, right? None of us would be like, oh, that's what an alien looks like? No. But what if we meet other humans? That's going to be the real trip. We're just like expanding into the universe, and then we see like lights, or we see some sort of form of industry. We see some form of industry on a planet, and we're like, whoa, is that alien life? And we get there, and there's just other humans chilling. And at first we're like, oh look, allies. And then we land there, and we start speaking to one another, and we speak vastly different languages. And then we start to put the pieces together, like, oh shit. What? Whoa, wait a second. We're gonna wage war with one another, aren't we? I hope not. I hope at that point we've already gotten past that. That's okay, cut myself some slack. Yes, cut yourself some slack indeed, my friend. Hello, I think I saw a duck behind you. Maybe stiff toe? Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. Goldfish, truly though, I'm glad it's helping you. I was prescribed Paxil before, and I had to stop taking it after a week. It caused too many side effects. It does cause a lot of side effects for many people, Gloomy. I had very severe side effects from taking antidepressants as well, ranging from insomnia to when I could sleep, extreme like night terrors, to the point where I was asleep but screaming so loud that my parents were rushing into my room to make sure I'm okay. And funnily enough, suicidal thoughts as well. Dun 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 dun. The depression medication is making me depressed. So yeah, it was not a vibe, but it might be a vibe for some. And to those who it vibes with, needs to vibe with it. Hey Edmund, thank you for joining us, my friend. We don't have to think of ourselves as bad or good. Sometimes we just are. Meet yourself where you are. Whew, that is beautiful, Aunt B. That is so beautiful, it reminded me of things worth saying. We didn't get to say something worth saying. There is absolutely nothing that can separate you from God. That can separate you from the universe. That can separate you from spirit, from soul, from consciousness, from beingness. There is absolutely nothing that can separate you from that. Man, that feels good. That just feels so good. Just hold on to that. Just feel what it feels like. Right? Because you can say, I can be separated. If I die, I am separate from it. No. But you're not. Take one step to the left, you're still very much a part of it. As if you take one step to the right, you're no longer, you can't take enough steps to the right and no longer be a part of it. There's nothing you can do that's going to separate you from it. If that isn't proof of love, then I don't know what is. You guys are great. Thanks for being friends. Thank you for letting us be your friends, Katie. Do you think it is humanly possible to build and live in a society in which all prosper? Let Margie. She's laying on her side, scratching at the pillow. In which all prosper, or does poverty have to exist for wealth to exist? Is it possible for prosperity to reach all? So, my initial response is that there is always going to be Kiki, stop scratching the pillow. Like, my initial feeling is that there's Kiki, there's always going to be some sort of gap. I don't think it will ever be in a way that everyone is like completely equal. You silly dog, you. So, like, again, equal outcome is not going to be something that's sustainable, because that is going to lead to destruction. But prosperity for all, in a way, like, there has been the suggestion, if you will, that if we just return to 1960s levels of consumption, when it comes to the amount of resources and things we're consuming right now as a societal level, if we just return to 1960s levels of consumption, everyone on the planet would be able to have access to that level of consumption. And the 1960s were pretty prosperous as well. People still lived good lives. The part that is really upsetting, is the fact that the top 10% of our population is also like the top 90% carbon emission producers. So if anything, if we can't have complete equality of prosperity, if you will, we should have some sort of way to kind of balance the quality of life through the utilization of those who benefit from the reduction of quality of life, be it global warming, be it floods, these sort of things. Not that they're benefiting directly, but they definitely are contributing with the amount of carbon emissions, with the amount of money they're making, with the amount of human time that is being invested into their companies. I think there's going to be a lot of things that take place for that to become a reality. I believe online working has a very big step in that. COVID might have helped with that. The 4-day work week, COVID might have helped for that as well. Higher wages, COVID might have helped for that as well. So maybe it's possible. I want to believe it's possible, Toasty. But I believe that there is going to have to be some sort of abolishment of the current governmental systems we find ourselves under right now. I don't think it is going to be possible if we continue ruling our countries and spending our tax money in the way that we are right now. But I do think it's possible. Good morning, friend. Hi, Mel. Hey, Angela. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Bro, pissed me off. Gloomy. Hello. Oh, thanks, Mel. Yeah, I know how you feel about them. Unfortunately, I was not even existing at that point, and I am also in cognitive therapy, which has helped me grow tremendously. Like, if it's paired with therapy, it's especially useful because it creates like a baseline for you to do work on. And then when you no longer have that baseline, you still have that catalog of work you've done to realize how to deal with the fluctuations of life. So I believe completely in you, Katie. How much land do you live on? What is the surface area of the planet, friend? I don't actually know the number, but that's your answer. I've struggled with the meds/no meds, but for me personally, sometimes it's just needed. Then I can work on healthy habits, then slowly work off of the meds when I'm a better place of self-discipline. Aunt B perfectly summed up what I wanted to say as well. Very perfectly put. Thank you so much, Aunt B. I'm taking Prozac right now, and I haven't had any side effects, but I still linger in depression. I know the meds only help so much. The rest is up to me. Like, I have a bunch of suggestions, but I'm just going to listen. I'm your Katie. If some monkeys come together, we go space. Yeah, right after revenue. That's crazy, yo. Right? Think about that. If a bunch of humans, like human ingenuity, is at such a level that if we come together and we have a common goal, we can literally leave this planet. Like what? Excuse me? Leave the planet? I can jump maybe this high. Maybe if I'm being generous, like that high. Maybe actually I would be able to jump this high. Leaving the planet? What? Yeah. Human freaking beings, man. Like we are quite something. It's not something I want to go on forever. I agree completely, Katie. I'm here to spread the love and positivity. It's always nice to let people know they radiate. That's the way, Funk. Thank you for being a being of light yourself. Go and share that light. You're not alone. Do you have any outlets that can shift your focus? Do let us know, Katie. I mean, this is an outlet, if anything is. I used to struggle with thoughts like that. Lots of self-destructive thoughts. Still do on the low days, though those thoughts are usually background noise, and I never make it the stage of rationale, as it were. Nowadays, my soul is just tired, and ready to rest. Ooh, now you're like the consistency that you can hit strings with me, Toasty, is kind of uncanny sometimes. Like on a spiritual soul level, I've been tired for a very long time, but on a I feel like I'm trying to find the right word. Maybe it's responsibility, maybe it's an acceptance of duty. Like it's like I'm very aware of how many times I've been through this. you know, and how many mistakes I've made, or at least I can imagine how many mistakes I've made and how many I'm still yet to make. And it can be something that can get you to this point of being like, when is it gonna end? But it doesn't. And it's definitely not going to end any faster if I'm not present with it. Right? If I'm trying to shy away from this experience because I'm tired, because I'm I'm no longer necessarily as fascinated, maybe. These are intense feelings to feel. Damn it, Toasty. Okay. Existential crisis over. We're all old souls, friends. Infinitely old souls. But we choose to be here at the end of the day. Like, there's a reason we're here. Very much so. And we can't shy away from that. Because it's like literally denying your own divinity. It can be difficult to rationale because the being that you are underlying this human experience is something so infinitely complex that your current human existence can't even begin to fathom. All of the possible reasons you are here right now. Just think about that. To look at this life in a way that it is school or a message to the universe. Maybe that one is even more beautiful. Your life is a message to the universe. And sometimes it can be a little bit tedious or tiresome to type a message, You can get to a point where you're like, what do I want to say next? What do I want to express? Is it coming out right? Am I saying it right? But we have to keep telling that message. Oh goodness! This survival water is strong today. Oh, I love you friends so much. I have a therapist, but I haven't spoken to him in a few weeks. I think I feel ashamed to tell him what's happening with me, but I also want to visit my best friend and get some air. You don't have anything to be ashamed of, Gold. Katie, like, you know that, friend. How could you possibly be ashamed of something? I'm not trying to shame you. How dare you be ashamed? Shame of you. Shame to your shame. No. Like, I'm just, again, trying to go to extremes. To be upset about a breakup is one of the most natural human things in existence. There's literal billion-dollar industries built around sappy love stories as well, right? It is something that's very much a part of human nature. You don't have anything to be ashamed of, Katie. Never feel ashamed to talk to your therapist about anything, dear. Exactly. They're there to help you work through your thoughts and emotions. Thank you for saying the same, my friend. Hey, David. It's nice to have you here. It's going well, Fred. How are you doing? Gloomy, did you get to post your hiking page? I wonder. Surface area of the plant. Yeah, that's where I live. Crap, no. It's okay, Gloomy. Don't worry about it, my friend. When you're ready. You got this, friend. You have all the weapons you need to fight this fight. Good. You're in a good spot. Thank you so much for saying the same. Glass Darkly, hi to you. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing? Thanks, Lumi. I just don't want to disappoint him, even though he says I'm always putting words in his mouth and I shit on myself too much. Is your therapist saying that? sorry I can't stop me today. No, you don't have to be sorry, Katie. You know, if I didn't want you to be saying things, then I wouldn't be reading your messages. And that's very much not the case. You have every right to say what you need to say, my friend. This is, if anything, the place to do so. Do you make any music? Gloomy, that's okay though. You'll get around to it, I know. I did make some music. I didn't get a lot of actual recording done, but I did take a few videos of myself doing some covers for fun. That sounds amazing, Edmund. Would you like to share one of those? I want to share it in the Discord, but I'm not really sure how to post such long videos. If anything, you're going to have to go to, like, I think actually there is an MP3 reducer. It's something called like 8 meg MP3 reducer, or something, like literally something as basic as that, and you basically just plop your video in there and it reduces it to an 8 meg file, cutting its losses or quality as much as it can to get to that point, and then you can re-upload it to Discord because it has an 8 meg limit. I'm not really sure how to post. Talk as much as you want, dear. Trust in this. You cannot disappoint him. Actually working through your thoughts and emotions is progress and never disappointing. I agree completely. You know, like, if I'm ever at the point where I'm no longer upset about losing a significant other or ending a relationship, or, you know, moving on from something that I spent a lot of my time and life in, if I ever stop being perturbed or upset or in a state of turmoil because of that, then I feel I've lost some progress, if anything. You know, these things are very much supposed to be felt, nothing to be ashamed of. Yay, at least one of us got something accomplished. I'm going to post on my hiking page today. I'm gonna do it. Get it, Groovy, get it. I look forward, my friend. Thank you for sharing with us as well. I'm going to be slugging Kitty's After Melt stream. If you want to join, there we go. Can't say no to that, can you, Katie? Kitty Snuggles? Kitty Snuggles sounds like a vibe to me. Definitely not. G-Unit, thank you for joining us, my friend. How are you? Definitely not. Yeah, I'll come over. Just tag me. There we go. You got this, Lumi. Ever been mad that you never consented to life? That's a weird existential loop to get stuck in. So, if you didn't consent to life, then you're probably a criminal in the next dimension, Toasty. Fuck you, criminal. Look into your eyes. Maybe we're interdimensional criminals and this is jail. Like, we are these super ultra dimensional beings that can shift planes of existence, you know, be tricksters, if you will, jesters, pop into the royalty of whatever this reality is and be like, you suck, you suck. You know, just to be jesters, to be like, yeah, you think you're all that, actually you suck. Oh, you feel things now. Maybe you're supposed to feel these things. Maybe me saying that you suck is making you feel that maybe I do suck, and maybe you feeling that you suck is an illusion within inside of yourself that I wanted to illuminate. And then I get locked in Earth jail. I'll make the best of it, I'll show you. But I get you, Toasty. Can be a loop, dude. Can be a loop. Edmund, thank you. I still have gorgeous pictures of the Tetons that I need to post. That sounds amazing, Gloomy. How are you, ma'am? Oh, I can imagine how beautiful they are. I don't know what the Tetons is, like, at all, unfortunately, but it sounds amazing. Imagine how beautiful they are. Spirituality and mental overwhelm, and mentally overwhelmed, but I'm just kind of sitting in it. How are you, bro? I'm feeling the same, dude. I'm feeling the exact same, man. But sitting in it, as you say. Because there's nothing to get away from, you know, technically. And if you try and get away from it, then it's still where you left it. So you're gonna have to face it eventually. So we might as well, right? We might as well be here. It's a low wave that I've been kind of rebelling against it. Yeah, dude, fuck yeah. Oh yeah, low waves. Oh yeah? I'll still smile. How about it? I'll still show up. How about it? I'll still try. I'll still try. Try to be happy. Try to see the beautiful things. Try to enjoy some experiences. Especially the arbitrary ones. This is the way, Toasty. I also feel that, especially today, the universe wants me to be down today, but I'm not having it. Yeah, I'm so happy that this is now a theme almost, because I was feeling the exact same way. And you know what was the weird thing? I was meditating, and in this meditative state, I got into a low wave as well. And I was thinking to myself, oh, I have to stream, and like before I stream, I have to get ready, and I'm gonna go and get ready here, and like I'm planning my time out, and like I imagine instead of streaming, I continue meditating, and sitting here, being in this calm state, and like I felt myself pushing the time almost like over, and it was something that I was like, what is this? Is this resistance? Is this feelings of, what's the word? Maybe rebelling against responsibility and the responsibility that I've wanted to take upon myself. And then again, as well, I was like, no, ain't gonna have it. None of it. I don't consent to death, and that's what I'm pissed about. Oh, darkly, there is no death, my friend. Maybe of this physical form, but there is no death. It's literally just, I believe, a spherical egoic understanding of your environment. So most of us attach our consciousness, our ego, our understanding of self to this individualized being, right? At the end of my fingertip, I stop if I reach out, right? That is how most of us understand us being alive. But if I can expand my egoic understanding of self just to encapsulate the entire Earth, if I die within this capsule, me as Meldmore, this consciousness is still very much alive. It's still thriving technically. Plants are still growing, people are still having conversations, and it can be something that can almost put you in a place of dread as well, thinking about how the world is going to continue if you, as your physical egoic understanding of yourself right now, passes. But if you understand that you are all of it, if you are this ever-permeating consciousness being flinged throughout the universe in multiple different areas, probably seating life and understanding and experience and communication all over realities, dimensions, then you realize there is no such thing as death. At least not in the way that we understand it as humans. Extremely beautiful. They hold a different meaning to me though. While we were there, a hiker from Ireland went missing. He has never been found. Hot diggity damn. That's scary. Is it a potential foul play, or did he just get lost? Did he go out on his own? Was he there with people and then they returned without him? Like, I need, like, I'm sure it's gonna be a good good post, my friend. Sounds pretty saucy. Not to try and glorify the missing of a person, obviously. Hey, what's up, man? You are always such a good vibe, brother. Thank you. That's nice of you to say. The Cox. That's very, very nice of you to say. I appreciate you. I left for a second. What do you guys do when you're bored and or down? I become present. Like, I feel those geese actually kind of gave me that answer, because in listening to the absurd sounds they made, I just instantly, I was here. I wasn't thinking. I was trying to come up with an answer, but they interrupted my thought pattern. Being bored is a state of trying to escape where you are right now. Maybe try that, if anything. Probably the opposite of the answer that you wanted, but maybe try that. Oh my goodness. What if we are fifth dimensional beings and the experience is just a hazing from our other fifth dimensional homies having a laugh, holding our heads in the third dimension? It's like, yes, this dude is gonna trip out. And then experience his entire human life being flown through, like my entire existence, experiencing it second by second, day by day, but in reality I'm just getting dunked and I'm like flaring. And then I come up again, I'm like, dude, I was this Meltmore person. And you were like, yeah. And I try to help people, and they were like, yeah, you know. I'm like, and I was just going through this experience of trying to figure out what it means to be a human. But in fact, I was not a human. How dare you, you assholes? And they just have that laugh. It sounds amazing, Toasty. But it sounds like a skit, if anything. We can make that happen, actually. Bored, watch reruns of a TV show I really like, read something, sit outside, a glass of wine. Thank you, A Glass Darkly. Those are a bunch of good suggestions as well, actually. I'm gonna pop your head out like a second went by, lol. It's very much possible as well, because in that way, and this, so it can be difficult for us to fathom how, as a fifth dimensional being, getting your head stuck into a technically fourth dimensional reality, I would say, technically, Toasty, because we have our three dimensions, and then we have the dimension of time as well, and it's very much a part of this experience. So I do think it would be a part of the dimensions as well, if you will. So having our head from a fifth dimensional plane be forced into the fourth dimensional plane, we would quite literally be experiencing one linear form of existence. You know, at the point of having our head pushed through into that reality, all other realities will collapse into that single fourth dimensional plane of existence, where in the fifth dimensional plane of existence, all possible fourth dimensional realities are happening simultaneously. So every single thing that you can and will do has happened an infinite amount of times in infinite different variations. So instead of putting my hand here, I had my hand here, you know, and then every single possible place that I could have had my hand, and every single possible of one of these realities. And then as soon as my head as a fifth dimensional being gets pushed through this reality, I basically get stuck on this plane of linear existence, living this entire life. And then when I pop my head back out, you wouldn't even be able to identify it as a second, because it would literally be an instance. As in, like, literally the way that you would just move in and out, like put on a light and put off a light. That is how quick your entire experience of this fourth dimensional plane would be as a fifth dimensional being. And we're probably even more dimensional beings than that. My freaking brain is melting. Please stop, Dusty. Please, I cannot. You're going to leave me in a puddle. Oh wow, that's quite the memory to attach to those photos, Lumi. That really is. It's okay to take a second to gather yourself before a battle, but you have to pull out your sword and take on your problems eventually. So, yes and no, because, like, there is this very beautiful saying. Those, like, it's a saying in the Bible as well that is actually mistranslated. It kind of goes, it's something about the warriors will be the one that inherit the land. But that is a mistranslation of basically the warriors with swords sheathed will inherit the land. So being a warrior, being someone that's powerful, being someone that can take, you know, drastic action if necessary, and yet choosing not to, those will be the ones that inherit the land, if you will. Like the game Roy from Rick and Morty. I was thinking about Roy as well, actually, dude. Bro, what are you doing in Africa? I was born here. Daniello. Yeah. Like, when I emerged into this plane of existence, I happened to find myself in South Africa. Blessing the rains. I'm trying to find the tune. I bless the rains down in Africa. I'm sorry, Kiki. Take Roy off the... He's taking Roy off the grid. His Roy doesn't have a social security number. Edmund, please do. Oh, I'll try to figure that out, Melt. I'd love to actually share my playing with you guys, like I always say I will, lol. I would love to see it as well, Edmund. I'm waiting. Daniela, he's living his best life. Thank you, my friend. Go out into nature and try to find something beautiful in our world that no one else can appreciate. That moment, that something beautiful, that geographical location is mine in that corner of the world and time. Lumi Sunshine, that is beautiful. The writer is coming out now, I can see. Very beautiful, yeah. Do that. And we can all do that no matter where we are. That's the craziest part. Right? You don't need to technically take yourself anywhere. If I do this and I obstruct my vision, you can see like a slither of the world, and I see mostly Scarf right now. No one else has that. It's literally a 100% divinely unique experience that is true to me in this moment in space and time. And we all have that all of the time. Maybe 1 billion, whatever units of measurement our fifth dimensional planes of existence has per second. Who knows, you know, who knows? It is gorgeous though. You're gorgeous, my friend. I wish I could see your face, smile with you. Luvi, you're a great person, she really is. Sometimes you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, yeah. I get that, dude. Kathy, thank you for the love. I wish everyone was like the people in this stream. Everyone doesn't have to be if we can. Right? If we can be the people that we want to see in the world, then we can inspire people just with our being. We don't have to teach them anything. We don't have to tell them how they're supposed to be. We can just be ourselves and have them feel for themselves if there's something of value there. And if they don't want to find value in it, then that is completely okay as well. But those that do find value in it are going to try and perpetuate that understanding, that energy, that feeling, that love that we can share with one another. And it is the most valuable thing ever. Oh, thank you. I'm going to hold that sentiment in my heart all day. I appreciate you. You deserve to hold that sentiment, my friend. I'm gonna cry again. Cry! Cry, let it out, Katie. Same. Someday the power of love will overcome the love of power. It's happening. It's happening right now, Toasty. It's literally happening right now. Whew, I can smell it in the air. I can feel it in the wind. You can see it in the light, taste it in the water. It's happening right now. It's just not happening as fast as we want it to, sometimes. But it's happening. It is, after all, the fundamental force of the universe. And the truth can never stay hidden. Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum! Bum bum. Okay. Damn, Toasty, your words too true, my friend. It is. It really is. Hi to you, Maret. Thank you for joining us, Jimi Hendrix. Yes, Katie, what Toasty said. One day, everyone will be like this group, and I can't wait. I look forward to it, Edmund. We're pushing consciousness that way now, my friend. Psycho Brainiac, thank you for the heartwarming. I appreciate that. Donkey. Geese, never mind. Psycho is a friend of mine. Say hi, guys. Hi to you, Psycho Maniac. Thank you for joining us, my friend. It's very nice of you to share some space with us. Any friend of Katie is a friend of ours. Oh, absolutely. Like that is just a given. You know, we're all friends here. Hello. Thanks. Like the Golden Compass series, dimensions are intermingling, melting together constantly. And a big stringy goop goodness. No, stop thinking about that. So I was imagining, every single possible dimension being encapsulated in a fifth dimensional sphere, and me as conscious I, like an eye, being moved through this fifth dimensional sphere. And then as I move through this molten mess of dimensions, it's like passing through these different layers of these dimensions, and then I'm like just experiencing like every frame, if you will, a different reality. It's too much. Stop, dude. Stop thinking about shit like that. Okay. You wave your hand and you technically touched another world. Yep. My brain just fell out of my earballs. Now it's gonna go get some hair and lint on it. Oh, I hate when this happens. Oh, Toasty, nothing wrong with a fuzzy brain. Your chat is hilarious. I love the responses. It is like the best thing ever, my friend. So much love here. You're baked. Actually, I'm like very slowly grown, with biomass. Very slowly. I started out in this world as like this package of human. Then I kept putting food in one of my orifices. And I kept expanding. Fucking weird, yo. I'm not baked. Am I baked? Don't remember coming out of an oven. Am I making it worse? Am I proving his point? That reminds me of the scientist from The Nightmare Before Christmas. The scientist from The Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't think I know who you're talking about, unfortunately. When he takes his brain out, we have the best time here. I can see why. It is so much fun, my friend. Thank you for joining us as well, Psycho. I want to take a blanket fort now. I wanna kind of show you what I have, because I have kind of blanket fort vibes. I'm sorry, YouTube friends, but I have this cushion and blanket. It was initially just the blanket and chair, and then I had to add the cushion as well because the sun is coming from there, and it was gonna blast my eyeballs. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna be preemptive. What was that? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Katie. You're gonna have to try and specify, which is counterintuitive because you're asking what it is. Yes. Love your new Hanes commercial. Thank you, my friend. I'm like rolling in it now. I'm really rolling in it. Meld, you are a physicist. Oh no, I'm glassly darkly. I am probably, like a solid 20 IQ points, below people that can be proper physicists. I comfort myself, like literally comfort myself with the fact that I have probably a decent amount of EQ, so I don't have to worry too much about having high IQ. Like I don't think of myself as stupid, but I know I am stupid compared to a lot of people in this world, just this planet, and then probably infinitesimally stupid, compared to what intelligences could be out there in the universe. When Mel spreads his arms, I have an animal cry. Thank you, Katie. That just makes me warm inside as well. Dude, Toasty, I dreamt I made a blanket fort last night. You see, you can't make shit like that up. Literally the first time that Toasty says anything about a blanket fort in all of these streams, it happens to be one of the moments you had a dream about having a blanket fort. The fifth dimensional consciousness flowing through it thing kind of makes sense now, huh? Because in a single one of those frames, if you happen to be inside of that dimension during that frame, you experience an entire lifetime, even though it is just a frame of your consciousness moving through said fifth dimensional plane of existence. Which means you've already experienced the blanket fort dream. And now you've said blanket fort in the stream. No, stop. Okay. It's too much. Edmund, why did you not dream invite me? Whoops, must have tripped over your dream. Here, you left this, bro. Everyone should make a blanket fort, post a pic to the Discord, and sleep in it Saturday night. For science! I mean, I think we would potentially then have the highest concentration of blanket fort consciousness that this world has ever experienced. So, I can theorize in some sort of scientific way, darkly, scientific reason for us to try and do something like that. Thank you for the narwhal salute, woman in a van. That's so nice of you, my friend. Have you finished your drawing stream? You were probably doing it during mine then today. I'm sorry that I missed it, my friend. What up, Mel? Bees are our friends, but I am scared of them on a primitive level. Bob, I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. We have this nest of wild bees in two of our walls, technically. Maybe just one of our walls, because I haven't seen the other hive that active. But we have these wild bees, and like South African wild bees are kind of aggressive. And they live in our wall, and they're the only bees we have local, so we don't bother them, we're not gonna kill them, even though they can be a little bit spicy. And I remember one day walking past these bees, and they were like a little bit in a ruckus, you know, like they're close enough for you to hear them as you're passing them. You don't necessarily have to walk up straight to them, but if you're going to walk to the, what we call the bakkies, you know, the baking house that my mom bakes her baked goods in, like, you have to walk past these bees. And this one day, like it was when I just returned from like China as well, I was walking past these bees, and I was so, like, again in my head, like invested in this possibility of getting stung. I was like, oh, I don't want to get stung by these, I know, potentially aggressive bees. And a bee landed on my lip and stung me right here on my lip, and I had like this thick ass lip, and I was like, dude, why did you think about getting stung, dude? Why were you scared in the first place? And now every single time I walk past them, I look very much at them, and I'm like, I love you, bees. Please don't sting me. That's like the energy I'm sending them, and I haven't gotten stung again. I'm sorry that you are still scared of them, Bob. Hopefully, like, it could be a little bit of advice. If you find yourself scared of bees again, just imagine yourself sending them love, like, oh, I love you, bees. Thank you for pollinating stuff and stuff. Don't want you to die. I don't want to get stung and stuff, you know. Let's get along. Try it. Toasty. How many times does synchronicity have to happen? This must be that early scientist felt like it. What early scientists felt like. It's a brilliant feeling knowing there is a force out there, but having no way to prove it. I mean, having no way to prove it at the moment. But we're like, technically what's happening right now is what I believe, and this might be something controversial to say, is we're busy with like spiritual science. We don't necessarily know exactly what experiments to run on this spiritual field of existence or consciousness or multidimensional energy that is ever present and yet unperceivable to us. And like, we're trying to work in the spiritual plane in a way that is going to be indicative of growth to both ourselves and the whole. It's like trying to do science without knowing necessarily how to. But if you start to learn without knowing how to, by the time you figure out how to, you'd be even more equipped to use that information. So slowly but surely pushing consciousness a little bit forward. I tried, Katie. I sent vibes to the whole of Melt fam. Thank you so much, Edmund. Oh man, I blush away, Psycho. Thank you for joining us, my friend. You are so loved. Thank you, Toasty. You can hold on to that for me. Lol, all's good, Edmund. Psycho, you're always welcome here. Matrix, really overflow. Dream diver. Whoa. Big instruction. Matrix reality overflow. Dream diver. Are you suggesting a video or a song? That sounds pretty sick. Big instruction. Thank you for joining us. I should get paid. That could be something you could do. I'll have to stop by here before work more often. I feel so much more relaxed and more able-minded to focus on my projects at work. Psycho Brainiac. You have no idea how happy you make me just to hear you say that, friend. I do this every single day, so if it's something you find benefit in, I would love to see you again. It's crazy. Once you start noticing all the little synchronicity moments, how consistent and instrumental they are to the human experience. You know what's trippy to me? I've had experiences where I notice synchronicity in other people's lives and them not noticing it, and me just choosing not to say anything about that either. Like, I'll see synchronistic things happening in people's lives, and I'll suggest to them, like, ask them about it. Like, maybe just like, this is interesting, huh? And I'm like, yeah, it is. And then I'll just say nothing more. Like, it happens to everyone, in my opinion. I just believe some people are more aware of it and more attuned to it than others. None of us are without it, if you will. He's here every AM by 10. Yes, I am. Thank you so much. Is it by 10? I think by 11 I should be live, usually. And then I try to go live by like 10 past 10-ish. It's like 4:20 my time, about. And at night around 12, 9 your time. I don't stream in the mornings as much as I used to, Katie. I want to get back into doing that as well, actually. Food is one of my orifices. I'm sorry, Glass. Sometimes talking about my human is difficult, yo. All them terminologies. You already have my time zone figured out. You know Psycho Brainiac. It's so cool. Yeah, call it 3 hours behind New York. You all have a lovely day. I've got a lot to do today. Thank you for joining us, Lumi. Sending you love and thank you for the hugs. Bye bye, Gloomy. Sending love, peace and love, Gloomy. Enjoy your day. My brother is driving. Of course, has to rev the car. Like, I'm not even worried about the sound as much as just brother shenanigans, you know. Like, my sister was running and then he was trying to dice her or something. I love him so much. If you dreamt about a blanket fort, it is probably has secret rooms and 5 floors. That is one crazy blanket fort. My blanket fort will have a jacuzzi as well. Just because it's the most absurd thing I can imagine in a blanket fort. Because it's made only of blankets. Like just a full functioning jacuzzi with jets and everything, but it's made of just blankets. How? just magic. I am a type of work from home office pillow fort situation at the moment. Okay, Bob, do you want to send us pictures of that? Sounds amazing. How's things, Mel? Things are going well, friend. They've been intense and overwhelming mentally and spiritually. Toasty giving me the vocabulary to express that as well. But I've been doing well, you know, despite the fact. Got this, friends. How are you? Watching Saturday morning cartoons too. I'm doing okay, thanks. How are you? I'm happy to hear you're doing okay. Woman in a van. Hey, Lady of the Mundane. Hello, loves. Dreams and blanket forts. Yes. Looks like I arrived at just the right time. You dead, Lady of the Mundane. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing, my friend? Post your blanket forts here. Thank you. I appreciate you posting the Discord link. Toasty. Oh, Nate, let's start a blanket fort subreddit. There might be one. I'm pretty sure there would be one, Nate. And thank you for joining us, my friend. Dude, today's stream was intense. I feel there was multiple moments of mine just melting, you know. As it melts, I'm trying to get all of it out. I'm surprised that there is not one already. Yeah, like, isn't there? I think there would be even. Melt. Are those mountains behind you? Yeah. These things are mountains. They're like a while away though, like far. Probably 5 kilometers away from me. Maybe even more than that. I feel bad that I don't know. I can't gauge that far actually. Rudo,
Ja,
weet je hoe ver is hij bergen van ons af?
daai.
Ja.
So kom omtrent so 7 kilos.
Ah, 7 kilos. Okay. I'm like, call me a liar for 2 kilometers. That's as far, dude. So it's like 7 kilometers away. But they are mountains, yes, my friend. Bees equals the spicy flies. I mean, if you're eating them, maybe that's what you're doing wrong, Bob. Like, if you're scared of getting stung by bees, stop eating that. I know. I'm just pulling your leg as well, my friend. Blanket fort, subreddit, spicy flies. Hello, friend. I've been here the whole time, just taking it all in today. Oh, thank you so much, Nate. That's beautiful, my friend. So nice to have you, to know that you were here. I hope you're having a great day. African killer bees, they told us they were coming to get us. They're not killer bees. They can kill you, but they don't like to kill you. They just kind of kill you because you messed with them, you know. So just don't mess with them and you won't get killed. It's that easy. But they're definitely not honeybees, at least not traditional honeybees. Oh, I've randomly popped onto your live streams twice now. Neat. Hey again, cowgirl. It's nice to have you here as always, my friend. Next time, like third time has to be a charm, right? So like either we have to trust the universe to have you randomly pop into the stream, or you have to kind of take initiative and tell the universe that you want this to be a charm, huh? How about that? Me selling you to the streams, like, huh? Every streams are pretty good. We have fun here. It would be nice to see you again, my friend. Hope you're well. I just got stung by one and never liked it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the general consensus is I don't like getting stung by bees. And yet, there are people that let themselves get stung on purpose. I don't think they do it because they like it necessarily. I feel it's maybe an exploration of consciousness as well. Like, oh, this thing is gonna hurt a lot. Like one of the most hurts, but I can feel a lot. Okay, I bet no one else has felt this much hurt, or maybe a very small slither of the population has felt this amount of hurt, so I'm gonna feel this hurt. Human beings, why you gotta hurt? I finished my art stream. I got hand cramped so bad. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend, but I'm happy that you can take the initiative to let yourself rest when you feel you're supposed to. What did you draw, if you'd be willing to share? Getting stung by bees is good to the immune system, or so they say. I'll trust them. I'll trust them. I'll breathe properly to help regulate my immune system as well. Hornet stings are the worst. We have these small little like red hornets that like rapid fire sting you. Like if one of them are underneath your cloth, for example, and you're like trying to wipe them out, they'll like sting you all the way down. I mean, like get as many of them as I can. Hey, Mrs. Boo, how's your day going? Well too. I hope so as well. Getting ready for a kitty stream now. Maybe you can take all of the friends we have here and go over to the kitty stream on B if I can reach the bottom. Much love, everyone. You all take care because you know you matter. Thank you so much, Psycho Brainiac. It was so nice to have you here, my friend. I could even count how many times I was stung by a bee as a kid, and I have a pretty cool immune system, so maybe. So, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, bees actually have a lot more in common with our immunity and the way that their immunity works with us as well. Interestingly enough, bees will suck and eat on the metabolites of mushrooms. Metabolites are basically this liquid that the mycelium produces when it doesn't necessarily enjoy cultivating or colonizing its substrate, so it creates these metabolites. But these metabolites have antiviral, antibacterial, basically health benefit properties to bees. And if you put these metabolites in sugar water, it literally drops the viral infections in those bee species, and it also increases their lifespans. Mushrooms are very much an integral part to bees, and they could be to us as well, and they could be like a a third branch happening towards us from bees directly. So maybe getting stung by them could have some sort of immuno benefit effect. Bee psycho. Have fun at work. Oh, bye psycho. Have fun at work. I kept bees for many years, not African ones though. Mine were pretty docile, and I only ever got stung if I accidentally squished one. Bees die if they sting you. Yellow jackets and wasps scare the crap out of me though. I'm happy that you kept bees, Lady of the Mundane. I do think keeping bees can be something very special as well. Like my uncle keeps bees. I don't know if we can keep bees here. Like, I don't know if we have enough flowers. Maybe if we give them sugar water. That's not really economical though. You. Soul brother. Could use the vibes today. We're here together, Turtle Time. Thank you for joining us, my friend. How have you been, friend? We had some good chats today in stream. Don't want to leave you. Why do you feel you need some good vibes? Maybe if you share why you have been experiencing bad vibes, we can send out the correct good vibes to cancel out those bad vibes and leave you back in a state of neutrality which you can bring positive energy into from yourself. The goatweed we have on the farm attracts ground hornets and wasps. Oh, that's interesting. Do they live in the goatweed? Do they use them as a fuel source or as a building material, or do they live inside of the goatweeds? I'm really curious actually. And I stand by you are Thor, but went down a Buddhist path. I don't think of myself as Buddhist at all, friend. Like, I think of myself as spiritual. Like, I've learned a lot from the Christian religion. I've learned a lot from Hindu teaching. I've learned a lot from Buddhist understanding as well. Like, I don't box myself at anyone like that, but thank you, Fred. And especially, I'm not gonna box myself in the Thor box either, Fred. But I appreciate you sharing love nonetheless. I know that you're only sharing from a place of love. I'm gonna head out as well, and if I can do anything to help my present being, the stream was so helpful. I'm so happy to hear that, Katie. I feel this stream was almost very specifically for you today, because like, before I went live, I saw I had a bunch of messages, and they were all from Katie, and I read them, and I felt, okay, I need to go and stream, and I told Katie as well, I'm going to go and stream now. So, I know you're not here anymore, Katie, but the stream very, very much was dedicated to you. I'm so happy that it was helpful. Damn it, came in too late again. Yeah, technically, we are getting to the end of the stream, but like, if I'll ever recommend you rewatch a stream, this would be it. Super Turtle Time. Is it still a blanket fort if it's just me under a blanket? I think so. I think we can make the argument for that. Yeah, because you do feel very much shielded from the outside world in said blanket. And if the function of the fort is to be shielded from outside world, then by reduction, I guess, blanket over you is blanket fort as well. Your blanket fort, you make the rules. There we go, Lady of the Mundane. Thank you for saying the same. I was drawing viewer suggestions. That sounds amazing. Yes, but only if you throw a flashlight under there. I'm starting a degree this month. I'm so ready for the challenge. That sounds amazing. What degree are you going to study for, my friend? Eating local honey is really good for allergies. Yes, it is. And that's a really good point as well. They literally go and get pollinated by all of the things that can cause you allergies. So by putting it in your mouth and having your body exposed to those things, you basically get some sort of familiarity with them, so that when these allergy seasons come up, you are not so much affected, because your body already knows how to identify and recognize those pollens and potential allergens as not so. Little did you know, she's an actual human woman in an actual van. Proven. Interestingly enough, I've never seen her in said van. So I'm like wondering. I wanted to make a joke about that in your stream today as well, but I was like, it's kind of lame, dude. You know, I was gonna say I feel lied to. I only see dogs. I see no woman and no van. Thank you for this knowledge. Whoa, that's good to know. Any other health benefits to local honey? I love bees. I mean, they have microbiome effects as well, dude. So those are also good for you. There are some polysaccharides in honey as well, you know, complex sugars. It can also be of benefit to you. So great, congratulations at the new beginning. That is 4-year relationship. Poof. Caught me way off guard. Oh shit. Turtle time. This stream is literally like the stream we had today is like almost made for you, because the stream that we went into today was like for Katie, and Katie is going into a breakup as well now after a 3-year relationship, and we were talking about stuff like that and feeling through that, and like me trying to help from the place that I can. So yeah, like I feel there's already been so much said for you, Turtle Time. We're here for you, my friend. Like, thank you for sharing that with us. I'm so sorry. 4-year relationship, dude. Goodness. Whoa, that's a long time. Would you be willing to share what happened? I'm so sorry that had happened, though, my friend. Still, no problem, Nate. Local bees pollinate the allergen plants in your specific area, so there's like a natural resistance thing in their honey. I think there are other benefits to local honey, but I'm drawing a blank. Oh, you have it, dude. That's the most important one to share as well. Thanks. It is true, I am a woman in a van. So sorry to hear that. Thank you, but it is what it is. Yes, it is. All the love and energies to Katie. So much love and energies to her. Turtle Time. Here's some positive energy from me to you. You see, dude, you're loved, man. Even though you're going through a breakup, you know, ending a 4-year relationship, you didn't have to go far to realize and to know without a shadow of a doubt that love is true, dude. Love is true, man. You are so loved. I gotta go buy a glass darkly. Thank you for being here with us, my friend. I'm gonna be studying forensic psychology. Ooh. 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 I see women in a van starting to study, starting to get good. Me continuing streaming, her coming in as she learns all of this new information. Psychologically forensicing me. Dissecting my brain and through the words that I say. And then she'll be like one day like, oh, Melt, I have figured it out. This is what's wrong with you. And I'll be like, damn, how did I not know that? Thank you, Dark. Women in a van. I'm joking, of course, my friend. That sounds amazing. That sounds really amazing. Forensic psychology. Are you going to be like prosecuting people? Maybe it's just because of the word forensic. Like I'm imagining very much you like almost interviewing like serial killers or something. Maybe my mind is just being too imaginative. But I have loved tuning in. There are people going through something worse or better. Here is just a place to share. No one thing is more important than the other. It is all non-dual in that way. As the negative and south poles are essential to the magnet being the magnet, it is still functions of the single magnet. The hardships and the joyful moments are both equally valuable in this experience. Thank you for being so aware and so present with it as well, my friend. That's so awesome. It really is. Thank you, lovely. Our best friend is going to NYU for that. Oh, awesome. I'm studying with the Open University. That sounds amazing. It made sense. She liked Law and Order and Mindhunter. Just a little too much. Mindhunter was awesome. She admitted it. Oh, goodness. Thank you, my friends, as always, for joining me in this space. I really do appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, everyone. Bye.